Hi, I'm Christy and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. So in today's video, I'm here with part 2 of some holiday Christmas romance recommendations. So if you missed my video from a few days ago, I'll have it linked in the description of this one. But in that one, I gave Christmas holiday recs for contemporary novellas. So I mentioned in that video how I had too many holiday recommendations to give, and so I decided to break it up into 3 parts. So this video is going to be for historical romance, Christmas, and winter recs. So in this one, I have a mix of historical romance novellas as well as some anthologies as well. So first up is Snowbound with the Viscount by Shanna Galen. This one is a snowed-in novella with brother's best friend. There's fake engagement as well. So in this one, the heroine is a young widow who really hasn't been feeling the holiday spirit for the last 3 years since her husband's death. So when her friend invites her to a holiday party, she first turns her down until she hears that her crush is actually going to be there. And so of course that is the hero, and he is her brother's best friend as well as her childhood crush. So unbeknownst to her the whole time, the hero has actually been interested in her as well, but he's kind of worried or not sure if she has more feelings for him than just friendship. You get to see some sparks flying at the holiday party. Actually, the entire party gets snowed in, and so they're all stuck at the house together. And then when the heroine's reputation actually comes into danger, the hero jumps up and saves her and kind of offers a fake engagement to save her. This one was fun because the hero and the heroine, they're both kind of unsure about their feelings at first. So there's a lot of tap dancing around their feelings. But then when they give in, it is so good. This one just has really fun wintry moments with the whole house party kind of snowed in together. We get some fun mistletoe smooches as well as some sleigh rides as well. So next up is When She Was Naughty by Tessa Dare. And this is a 50-page holiday novella from her that first released in a Christmas newsletter a couple of years ago. I read it right away, but I think the ebook is available as well. So this one just gives off major Pride and Prejudice vibes, and it is just a fun time. So in this one, the heroine has kind of been exchanging witty remarks and kind of heated glances with her nemesis / the hero all year long. And so now he is invited to her family's Christmas Eve ball. She decides to up her antics to kind of get him to crack a smile. So she decides to tell him that at her family's holiday parties is actually her family's tradition to wear these ugly, hideous Christmas waistcoats, which in modern day would of course be the ugly sweater. And so surprisingly, the hero actually believes her, and then he shows up in the most ridiculous waistcoat. It's covered in sequins, there are embroidered reindeer on it, there are jingle bells, pom-poms, so much is happening with his outfit. So the heroine starts to realize that maybe the hero doesn't hate her after all, and that there might be more to him. So the hero is a bit standoffish and kind of cold, but the heroine actually realizes that he is really swoony once she looks back and realizes all of their encounters over the years. This one was just adorable and sweet, and of course had that classic Tessa Dare humor. Next is Mistletoe Mistress by Nicola Davidson. So in this one we have a class difference. The hero was actually the second son, but he just recently became a Marquess. And then the heroine is a maid at a foundling home. So we also get some plus size rep in here. The heroine definitely embraces and loves her curves. And then we get a fake marriage as well. They actually both end up at the same inn, and there's only one room left, and the innkeepers are like, we only give out rooms to married couples. So of course they jump right into it and they're like, yeah, we're married, totally. This one just brought the steam, brought the sweetness. There is some kinky times in here as well. Some toys and some playful spanking and a little bit of dom sub in the bedroom. Next is An Heiress for All Seasons by Sophie Jordan. So in this one, the heroine is an American heiress who decides that she is never going to marry a super stuffy aristocrat, even though her mom has brought her to England to find a husband. So the hero is an earl, and he is determined to save his family's fortune without succumbing to a marriage of convenience that his mom is trying to push on him. So in this, the hero and the heroine, their meddling mamas are actually the ones who bring them together. So they both end up at the hero's estate for the holiday. I loved how right from the start, the hero is smitten with the heroine's kind of bold attitude, and then the heroine, she is kind of convinced that the hero only wants her for her money, and so she's definitely trying to fight their feelings. This one just has really cute banter. There's even a scene where they get stuck in a cottage together during a snowstorm. Next is A Wallflower Christmas by Lisa Kleypas. Here is the cover, and here is the step back. So The Wallflowers by Lisa Kleypas is actually one of my favorite historical romance series of all time. I definitely love it. I love to reread it, and I love to reread this holiday novella as well. So this is book 4.5, part of the series, so you definitely want to read this at the end because it kind of acts as an extended epilogue to all of the couples in this series. So we get to see all the couples of the series as well as a new romance in here as well. This one is just super charming and fun. Like I mentioned, I love the Wallflowers, so I just love this book so much. The opening scene is all of the original Wallflowers just hanging out, making a velvet Christmas tree skirt together, and it was just so sweet. We also get a sweet and angsty romance in here as well with Rafe, and he is the brother of Lillian and Daisy. So he is American, and he is in London to spend time with his sisters and their families for the holidays. And then he ends up falling for Hannah, who is actually the lady's companion to the woman that he's supposed to be courting. This one was just a fun time. I love that secondary new romance as well as seeing all of the OG characters as well. Tons of fun wintry activities as well. Next is Deck the Halls with Love by Lorraine Heath. This is actually part of her Lost Lords of Pembroke series. So this one is a second chance snowed in historical novella. So the heroine in the past gave her heart away to the hero only to have it shattered when he decided to propose to somebody else. But of course there is more to the story, and when things don't go as planned for him and he is now free and available, he goes to her and now she is engaged to somebody. This one was just a fun time of two people who are definitely supposed to be together. We have a ton of winter activities as well. So there's ice skating on a frozen pond, there's him stealing a dance at the ball, and then a snowstorm, of course, forcing them to be together in an abandoned castle at night. So next up, A Mackenzie Clan Christmas is actually a bind-up of two novellas, and so I'm going to be talking about one of them, which is A Mackenzie Yuletide. This one you definitely want to read if you're already caught up with Jennifer Ashley's Mackenzies and McBrides series, as this is book like 11.5. But if you're caught up and you haven't read this book yet, this one is just a lot of fun. We get to see all of the family together for the holidays. One of the brothers, Mac, is actually up late at night painting up in the attic when he sees a ghost go by him, like a whole lady in white floating around the attic. So some of the family kind of jumps in and tries to prove that the ghost was real. Ian, if you've read the first book in the series, then you know Ian and love him. So Ian knows that ghosts don't exist and are not real, and so he's like, I don't have time for that. Like, I need to go find Beth the perfect Christmas gift. So he gets them help with some of the children as well, which was really fun and cute to see. This one just had lots of holiday cheer. There are two like little mini mysteries going on, and it's just heartwarming and like a real delight to see all of the families and kind of their growing children together as well. The next is The Captain's Midwinter Bride by Liana de la Rosa, and this one is more wintry than Christmas. So this one is a marriage of convenience 20 years after the fact. So in this one, the hero and the heroine, they actually married for convenience in the past, but then the hero went right off to the Royal Navy afterwards, so they didn't get to like kind of spend that time getting to know one another or never really have even lived together. And in the times that he did start visiting, like they would have children, and so he was kind of more being a father than being a husband on those trips. But now the hero is retired and he is about to be home for good, and so the hero and the heroine, they have to kind of realize, do they have feelings for one another? Like, how does the other one feel? How are we going to live around each other? Like, they're kind of tiptoeing around all of that. This one was just really fun to see because, like I mentioned, we get to see the 20 years after the marriage of convenience. And then the couple are having to work together because they're planning their daughter's winter wedding as well. Next is A Kiss in Winter by Courtney Sharp, and this is a steamy Victorian era holiday novella on Kindle Unlimited. So this one is enemies to lovers and forced proximity as well. So in this one, the heroine loves three things in her life, and that is her father, Christmas, and her three-legged tabby cat. So her neighbor is a railway magnate, and he actually thinks that Christmas is the worst time of the year. But one day the heroine's father sends her over to kind of spread the holiday cheer to him and bring him like a fruitcake basket. So there has already been some kind of bantery tension between the hero and heroine in the past when she shows up at his door, and she like can't stand his grumpiness and he can't stand her like sunshininess. Things go terribly wrong when she realizes that her cat had snuck into the holiday basket and then got loose in the hero's house and then ran out the door. So it is a snowstorm and they have to go find and rescue her cat, which of course the cat lives happily ever after as well. The cat is rescued, but the hero and heroine along the way end up taking refuge in a cottage on his property during that snowstorm. Next is Once Upon a Winter's Eve by Tessa Dare, and this is part of her Spindle Cove series. This one takes place on the night of the Spindle Cove Ball, which the Spindle Cove series follows a bunch of spinsters who all live in this community called Spindle Cove. So in this one, the heroine is actually a wallflower and she has had her heart broken in the past, but she speaks multiple languages. And the hero is a mysterious stranger who washes up ashore, comes into the ballroom, and falls at the heroine's feet. And once he wakes up and he starts speaking in an unfamiliar language to everybody, they kind of get the heroine involved and they're like, maybe you can talk to him since you know so many languages. So then of course it comes out that the hero is a spy and that he may or may not know the heroine and kind of her past. This was definitely a little far-fetched, but is a fun wintry novella. Next is The Lady Who Came In From the Cold by Grace Calloway. This one is amazing. If you haven't read Grace Calloway, she definitely delivers on the steam. So in this one, we get a spy heroine in a marriage in trouble where the heroine is the one who has to do the groveling. So when the story starts, the hero and heroine are already married. They've been married blissfully for 12 years. They have 3 sons together. Like, life is good. But then when the story starts, the hero kind of finds out that in the past, before they got married, his wife was actually a secret agent and during the Napoleonic Wars. And so he's kind of hurt by this betrayal of like thinking he knew his wife this whole time and like, is their life a whole lie? So this one has lots of angst because the heroine is determined to win her husband back. We get flashbacks as well. The couple's passion was already like super steamy from the beginning, but then like the groveling steam was really great. So this was just fun just to kind of see them struggle and come back together. Next is The Earl of Christmas Past by Kerrigan Byrne, and this is actually a novella, part of her Good Girls series. So this one takes place over winter solstice, and the heroine is actually on a vacation in the Scottish Highlands, and she is a photographer as well. So this one takes place in the Victorian era, and the heroine loves adventure, and so she's in the Scottish Highlands to do some winter photography around Loch Ness. But a winter storm ends up blowing through, so she has to cancel her photography plans and take refuge at a local inn. So the inn she goes to is like centuries old, and the only room left is one that everybody tells her is haunted. So the heroine's like, that's fine. fine. I love adventure, like bring it on. There is a ghost and he is actually the hero, and then the heroine actually sees him while she is bathing in the night. So we find out that the hero died fighting during the Battle of Culloden, and he has been imprisoned in the inn for 150 years. This one has lots of sizzle and scorch and just like some wintry magic as well, and it is a super fun time. So next is one of my favorites, and it is Miracle on Lady Smile by Joanna Shupe. So this one is a holiday winter novella. It is very short, and it has a grumpy hero and a sunshine heroine. So the hero is a widowed single dad who kind of just keeps himself busy at work and leaves work late every night. When he is leaving work late one night, and he actually sees the heroine working by herself in one of the Christmas holiday like window displays. So when night after night he keeps spotting her kind of working alone, he decides to step in and offer his help. So he doesn't tell her at first that he's actually a co-owner of the store. Instead, they kind of form this friendship. The hero is just very drawn to the heroine, and it was really fun to see their relationship growth and develop. The hero's relationship with his daughter as well evolves in the story, and that was really nice to see play out. This one was just a lot of fun. Of course, Joanna Shupe always delivers on Gilded Age fun, and in here she shares a tidbit as well that the holiday window displays, Macy's stores in particular, were actually invented during Gilded Age. So this is one I definitely recommend to check out if you haven't. And then next, this is just a bunch of winter Christmas novella anthologies that I have. So first up, I haven't read this one yet, but this one is A Holiday of Love by Judith McNaught, Jude Devereaux, Jill Barnett, and Arnett Lamb, who apparently didn't get a name on the title, but her name is on the back of the book. So there are 4 novellas in here. One of them is in New York City in the late 1800s. One takes place in medieval Scotland. One is set in Regency London, and then another one is in modern day Colorado. Next is Mistletoe Christmas. I did read this one last year. I didn't really love it, but it does have some novellas from Eloisa James, Christy Caldwell, Jana McGregor, and Erica Ridley. Next is Wishlist, and this is an anthology by Lisa Kleypas, Lisa Catch, Claudia Dane, and Lindsay Sands. I have read the Lisa Kleypas one in here, but I haven't got to the other 3 yet. And next is A Christmas to Remember. I really love the cover of this one, and I have read all 4 in this one. So this one has novellas by Lisa Kleypas, Lorraine Heath, Megan Frampton, and Vivian Lorette, which actually some of these anthologies are a bit tricky and confusing. So both of these anthologies have the same Lisa Kleypas novella in them. And then this Lorraine Heath novella is actually the novella that is in this collection as well. So this one was okay. I really liked the cover more than I liked the stories inside. I think the Lorraine Heath was my favorite though. Next, I read this one last year and loved it. This is Kissing Under the Mistletoe, and there are novellas in here by Susan Enoch, Amelia Gray, and Anna Bennett. All these were a great time, and I definitely recommend picking up this anthology. And then my other favorite anthology is How the Duke Stole Christmas, and this one is by Tessa Dare, Sarah McLean, Joanna Shupe, and Sophie Jordan. So if you're going to pick up any historical romance anthology for Christmas, I definitely recommend this one. So those are all of the Christmas and holiday historical romances, novellas, books, anthologies. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of the ones that I talked about, or if you have any historical romance, holiday, Christmas, winter recommendations for me. I'd love to know. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you in my next one.